guys, it's Pure Nor Ice Cream Bar, and I'm here today with Citrus and with Lemon because I want to do a short little crossover character video. If you've seen all of Citrus's videos, and if you've seen the last couple Lemon videos, you know that Lemon and Citrus are both man-eaters. Citrus in more of a different species kind of way, and Lemon more in a cannibal kind of way, but you know, similarities. And I just wanted to talk really briefly about how that came to be and how these two characters are weirdly similar but also weirdly pretty different, because they evolved pretty separately from each other, and yet they ended up in kind of similar places, which I think is interesting. Obviously, they're very similar in the fact that they are both creatures that can eat people. Not can, do, have done. They're also both characters that are perceived in a certain way, and are in reality actually much more dangerous than that perception would have you believe. However, they're also quite different from each other. Most notably, I would say, Citrus, of course, like I said, if you've seen his videos, Citrus is completely asexual. He does not have genitalia. He is not a human being or any kind of being that reproduces sexually. He has no sex or gender. Whereas Lemon has every sex and every gender possibly imaginable because her body continuously deforms from male to female and then back again. So she's male, female, and every other thing in between. I'll try and talk about that a little bit more in a different video, but you know, the basics of it is, in that sense, they're kind of opposites. But definitely, at the end of the day, all of those different qualities add up to make what should be a very sweet character for both of them, and turns them into something a little more grotesque, just like one layer deep. So when we look at how these characters have evolved, Citrus evolved very organically. He evolved not just in a written sense, but also as a sculpt. And as he was evolving as a sculpt, and as his backstory was evolving with that, things just kind of came into place for him. Citrus happened in a very organic, slow-growing way. Lemon was created in a much more structured way. I like to call it the puzzle method. Basically, when I'm creating a character that's very structured, that's inspired by different things, it's like building a puzzle with an infinite amount of pieces. And the things that inspire you are kind of your corner pieces. So, for example, for Lemon, I knew I wanted to have a character that was more versatile. Clothing-wise, I wanted to have a character that had more of a feminine presence, and I wanted to have a character that was kind of based off of tween romance novels, as well as specifically teen romance novels that had supernatural love interests in them. You know, characters that would otherwise be perfectly at home as villains in horror movies, but they were like falling in love and acting ridiculous. So from those foundations, I started to lay out my frame. So I knew that this character needed to be versatile. Well, why did she need to be versatile? Because I wanted to have more options for clothing. So I pick out the styles that work for me, and from that I need to know, okay, so why is this character interested in this type of clothing? Well, maybe she's worn it a lot before. Why has she worn it a lot before? Well, maybe she was a model. That works because in romance novels, characters are often Mary Sue's. Mary Sue's models, that goes together super easily. It fits perfectly. Now we're coming together. We're building our frame. I knew that I wanted the character to be based off of a horror movie monster, except I wanted to do something kind of vile and gross, because I wanted to riff off that idea a little bit, these horror monsters being Mary Sue, falling in love, silly characters. So I picked cannibal. Now, I love horror movies, I love horror elements, and Lemon was also very inspired, maybe not very, but inspired by the movie Splice, which is a terrible, awful, ridiculously bad movie. However, in that movie, they have this element where they're creating a creature which changes genders. I liked the idea of changing gender because in tween romance stories, there's often an element of androgynous characters, or characters that look like one gender but they're actually the other gender, or characters that for some reason have to pretend that they're a gender that they aren't. And when I brought together the idea of cannibal and the idea of changing genders, it came to the conclusion that Lemon was some sort of test tube experiment science baby. Science baby! So the frame comes together, and that's kind of how Lemon formed. You can kind of see how each idea played off one another, and it eventually built the structure for Lemon. And that's why for the past 3 years, Lemon hasn't actually changed that much, because her structure, all of the things that she was based on, remain the same. She was a very structured character coming together, whereas Citrus, as I have explained, was very organic when he came together. He grew over a period of years. Because of that hugely, vastly different creative process, these characters already feel really different to me. That being said, they do end up being very different characters. Even though they share similar experiences, those experiences have had different effects on them. The prime example, and the name of this video, is the fact that they are both man-eaters. They were both exposed to human meat as children, but quite differently, right? Citrus was introduced to it by Nikolai, who was nearly a child himself, who was his caretaker, but didn't actually show him any kind of real affection or real love. He was also keeping him trapped in a shed in the woods. As he grew, he realized how wrong that was. Now it's a place of a lot of guilt and a lot of shame and not ever wanting to talk about it. Lemon, very different situation, also a child. Her parents accidentally fed her some human bits. And it was not on purpose, and it was completely out of, a place of love, because her parents love her. And they don't want to see her hurt, and they don't want to give her any more problems than they already gave her. But it happened, and because it happened that way, Lemon is much more secure in who she is, even though she has this huge, massive flaw. It came from a place of, okay, we accept this, we're gonna help you, we're gonna make this okay, we're gonna make you able to live with this problem. And you get to a point where Lemon knows she can control herself, right? Because she came from that place of support and love. And Citrus, even though his problem is actually a lot more contained than Lemon's, always feels that he's going to lose it one day and just eat all the people he loves. So yeah, that's the story of my little man-eaters. They're so cute. I guess I just wanted to show you guys that even though these characters have a lot of similar aspects, they're actually very different people. That is everything I have to say about that for now. I hope you guys enjoyed watching. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. I hope that you're enjoying learning about Lemon, and I will talk to you all soon. Bye!